All of these books here are what's known as gift bindings. These are primarily American, and they're either embossed or heavily gilt decorated. Like that's a leather binding with embossed ornamentation. This is a cloth that is gilt stamped, and the reason it's so ornate is they were intended, especially with the gilt edges, to be presents. All of these can be viewed on our website by looking up the number. B361 is this one. This has been cataloged as B106, and I'll go down the column, the line here, and just show you briefly the types of bindings that are available from us now. These do sell regularly, so if you're looking at one of them now, there is a chance that it will be sold by the time you go to look. B98, see, very pleasing, this type of embossed decorative patterning, the rules with more patterns, the stamps in the compartments, and often there are engravings within these. This is B97, a Cowper book. See the images often within them. All of these are described with further images in the listing for the item. B412, this is full leather, like so. And they make, they're actually a wonderful area of collecting because so many of these bindings are one of a kind, and sometimes they'll have color lithographed half titles or frontispieces in them. Here is one that combines elaborate gilt with a floral embossing, and also sometimes they have dates stamped on the spine, which is a little quirk of binding of the era that I very much like. At one point I had formed a collection of American bindings which had dates stamped on the spines of them. And here is another one. This is B836. All you have to do when I'm showing them is just note the number if the book interests you. This is B231. Look at this. Yeah, very pleasing, especially as a group like this. Here's another one with a date stamped on the spine, 1838, beautifully embossed. This is a remarkable binding here for the state of preservation of it. All edges are gilt. There are, for instance, in this one, numerous engraved plates throughout with tissue guards. That's B641. And here is another one. Look at this. This is stamped in blind, like so. The compartments are stamped like that. That's B633. And here is B678. And this one actually has something interesting going on. I think this is a London book, I believe, a London binding. No, look, it's Philadelphia. Look at that, Philadelphia. That's great. And it's got the gilt rules as well as this a variation, two different types of blind rule inside the outline as well as outside of it. And so that's an interesting binding there. This one is, I think, a London binding. And this one is very interesting because if you look closely, you can see there is like a jester, and these are all laughing faces of little creatures. This is a remarkable comic binding with a date stamped on the spine. And so, and there's also illustrations throughout this one. That's B473. And look at this. This is beautiful here. Look at that binding. That is a tremendously attractive gift binding of the mid-19th century, B844, and this one also has engravings within it. And then we've got this Bible here, B843. Look at this. Yeah, this is wonderful. It's a very nice book. Like so, nice binding. This is great. And the final example, and we have dozens and dozens more that we could show, and we will soon, B702. This is just wonderful. This kind of a diced patterned optical illusion almost is what it is. Yeah, this is very nice. And so all of these books and everything you see here on my desk is currently available now online from me, Brian DeMambro.